Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Morristown, Indiana for the Hoosier Shooting Academy 2022 Boys Basketball Holiday Classic. We're ready for the third place game. It features the Knights of South Dearborn at 7-3, the Cadets of Cascade coming in at 5-4. Today's game brought to you by IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences. Begin your journey today. The Morales Group, building better futures, one story at a time. Burtner Electric, serving greater Indianapolis and the surrounding counties. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation, we do it all. And by Reynolds Farm Equipment, serving our customers and the community since 1955. Great to have you with us, Troy Dergowski, along with the black hole, Clark Chapin, a man who knew how to shoot the basketball better than anybody, but his passing skills still to be unbelieved. Okay. Two teams here looking to finish third place here this afternoon. Both teams have winning records. You've had a chance to see both these teams. On paper, looks like a pretty even matchup.
Yeah, and it's a chance for both these teams to come out of this holiday tournament with a winning record through the two-day event. So, yeah, both teams should be equally matched. You look at Cascade. Cascade has a lot of equal parts. You got 4 or 5 guys, Troy, that can get you anywhere from 10 to 11 points a contest. They got solid guard play, but one of those guards is a true freshman named Jude Johnson, who does a nice job for him. In their game yesterday against Covenant Christian, Covenant did a really good job of mixing up their defenses, and it kind of led to some confusion. They had a much better second half, kind of opened up the game a little bit, didn't play so robotic, got out and ran, and we got more points on the board and made it a one possession contest.
Cascade, by the way, averaging just 43.3 points per game, but only giving up 40.9. On the other side, the Knights of South Dearborn, they have won one. They have lost one. They lost to Chittard last night, but they got a guy, Ryan Willoughby, who can really put some points on the board.
Ryan Willoughby, he's a really good player. He can shoot the three ball really well. He's their leading rebounder and really can attack the basket. If they need a basket, they'll run a set play, kind of a little cross screen where he comes across the block, and he's able to use his body effectively, initiate contact, and get the ball up on the backboard and score and get an and-one opportunity.
2 games already in the books today. We saw South Dearborn beat Morristown 65-50, and then moments ago, a pretty good one. The South Ripley Ball Club knocked off Milan 74-71. We have the championship game coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. It'll be Covenant Christian and Bishop Chittard, and I promise that's going to be a good one later on.
I had that game December 16th, and it was a back-and-forth contest. We'll talk about it. It was a special night for Covenant Christian in terms of what they were doing with the Silent Night made famous by Taylor University. And it was a back-and-forth contest until Covenant pulled away at the end, but that's going to be an exciting ball game.
By the way, South Dearborn, their head coach is Pat Cosgrove, and on the other side, Cascade, head coach David Carpenter. This is the first ever meeting between these two teams. Let's go to our public address announcer for the starting lineups.
For tonight's game, this afternoon's game, for the Hoosier Shooting Academy Holiday Tournament, the game between the South Dearborn Knights and the Cascade Cadets. Let's introduce the cadets at this time. Junior guard number 10, Nick Parsons. Junior guard number 21, Jonas Jackson. Former guard number 24, Jude Johnson. That's Jonas Johnson. Senior forward number 23, Devin Weigel. Sophomore forward number 34, Connor Sanders. Coach for the cadets, David Carpenter. And now introducing the starting lineup for the Knights, senior guard number 14, Ryan Willoughby. junior guard number 2, Hudson Shackelford. At junior guard number 1, Brody Tiki. Sophomore forward number 13, Xander Schwab. Junior forward number 5, Adam Kunkel. Coach for the Knights, Patrick Cosgrove.
So there you have the starting lineups for both teams. Cascade will be in the white, and South Dearborn will be their traveling uniforms. Let's get your keys to this one.
Yeah, I think for Cascade, they want to make sure they get out and run. They had a really good success in their matchup against Covenant Christian whenever they got an early game, an early transition. And I think for a defensive standpoint, they got to make sure they stay in front of Willoughby and know where he is. If you're South Dearborn, I think it's get off to a good start. You're not very deep. That happened in the Chittard game. They kind of lost connection with Chittard after the first quarter. So start off fast, get Willoughby going, and just be able to play off him.
Knights basketball to begin this one. This is the third place game of our tournament. See the Cadets opening up in their man-to-man. Again, we'll keep an eye on that young man right there, Willoughby. He will be a 20-point scorer for the probably remainder of the year, the way he can shoot. That shot's missed from the right side by Schwab. It'll be Cadets basketball. And we have a whistle and stoppage of play already. And it might be because of an injured player. Looks like, is that number 14? No, 24, excuse me. That's Jude Johnson, the freshman.
I don't know if they bang knees, and that's kind of an ouch thing if you ever hit knee on knee with another player. But it kind of looks what it might be what it is. He's just going to go over there and walk it off.
So he is out. He had 11 points against Covenant in their last matchup. Entry pass underneath to Parsons, and this one off the glass and good. As they're on the board here, 2-0.
Troy, the one thing that I did notice South Dearborn will do is they'll change defenses. You'll see a 1-3-1 from them in the half-court setting.
Shot missed at the other end as Willoughby will go to the line. First foul of the ball game.
Fouls on number 23, Devin Weigel.
They got Weigel on the foul. So here's Willoughby.
Take a look at this drive, Troy, by Willoughby. Just able to spin off the top of the key and get downhill. Uses his left hand. It helps initiate that contact and obviously draw the foul and knock down both free throws and ties this game up.
So Cadets basketball, if you just joined us, we saw Jude Johnson leave moments ago. Would imagine he'll be back very soon. Knights really extending their man-to-man out beyond that three-point line. That is Tharp who entered the ball game. And ball loose, picked up. Cadets will keep it.
Good active hands there by Schwab. And there you see another Knight in the passing lane. That's Brody Tiki. And his aggressive defensive play earns a foul on Cascade.
Look at Jonas Johnson on the foul. That'll be his first. That's the first turnover for the Cadets as well. So Knights basketball. That's Willoughby. The entry pass off the glass, nice touch, and Kunkel gets his first two.
Yeah, nice pass by Willoughby. Saw the cutting Kunkel, and Kunkel didn't waste time. Caught it, went right up through the defense, put it off the backboard, and able to finish.
Ball nearly stolen away out front by Shackelford. Cadets go on the attack, but we have a whistle and a foul call against South Dearborn. They'll get Shackelford for number 1.
Troy, it looks like South Dearborn in their man-to-man half court here, they're doing a lot of switching, which makes sense because most of them are very similar in size. And so the switching's creating some of that confusion for the Cascade offense.
Stopping there was number 10, Parsons, and now we got a traveling call. That'll be the second turnover.
Again, the switching defense, as you see, and there's causing a little bit of confusion. They didn't show that in the games I saw them yesterday, but I like the wrinkle, and they did feature a 1-3-1 in both games.
Tiki at the point will find Willoughby. Willoughby gets the bump and then takes it off the glass for 2.
And both Willoughby's baskets driving hard and aggressive, straight line to the basket. Not much extra flair or extra moves, right? Just going straight to the hole.
Well, that defense really causing some problems here for the Cadets, even to get into the set.
Yeah, they're having a problem just initiating the offense in that first pass. May have to try a different set here. You know, with a team that does a lot of switching, the person that does a screening should reverse seal, and they're the ones that's going to be open.
Well, that offense really forced way out beyond the three-point line. Yeah, got away with another travel there. Shot fake, drive in the lane, scoop shot up, and good. That'll be Connor Sanders.
That was a nice move to avoid the defense, that kind of a jump stop, kind of to the side of the defender, able to create some space because of that jump stop, and finishes.
Lead back to 2. It'll be Knights basketball. Working one-on-one out front. Shackelford on the drive, left it short. And here come the Cadets. In the corner for 3. It's on the way. Air ball. And now back the other way. It'll be the Knights setting up at the half court. Here's Willoughby.
Good transition defense by Cascade. Kept the ball in front of him, but Willoughby steps back and drills the 3.
He has 7 of the 9 points.
He's a bucket getter. You saw him already. He's made 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He's drove the ball hard to the basket, and there he shows his complete game by making it from about 21 feet.
You know, you look at him, he's just a big, strong kid, too, isn't he?
He leads him in rebound. He's not the tallest kid, but he plays really hard. That's one of the things I like about him as well.
Cadets down by 5 with a basketball, but still struggling to get a shot off. Here's a 3 on the way, no good by Parsons.
Yeah, I think Cascade kind of settled in that possession. That's a shot I think they can get about every time. South Dearborn really aggressive at taking the ball to the basket.
Big-time bump in the foul call against Cascade. Looks like they got Brady Trebley, number 23. Boy, Willoughby had that first step as you take another look at that 3, or take that back, the drive and the bucket.
Yeah, just a strong, head right on the rim, chin on the rim, so to speak, and the eyes are on his target the entire time. Got his shoulders by the defender, and he's so quick and strong that he's able to finish. And obviously he makes that free throw as well.
Lead at 6, biggest so far here in the opening period of play. Couldn't get the second one, and a rebounding foul will be called against South Dearborn. Looks they got Adam Gaynor, who just entered the ball game. We had talked earlier off the air that you just don't see a whole lot of fouls called in these tournament games, do you?
You don't, but that's also very similar to how it is come sectional time, right? They're gonna let the kids decide the game, and you're gonna have to play through some, opportunities or plays where it might be a foul.
Good cut by Tharp. He'll lay it in, and the lead down to 4. We were talking in some of our games yesterday too. Just some things you don't see. Of course, the 3-second call you don't see much anymore. The way offenses are. But, you don't see. There's a nice drive again. I'll tell you what, that young man right there, Willoughby, might have one heck of a night.
He's off to a really good start. He's got 10 of their 12 points.
We don't see many pull-up jumpers, too. It's something that just isn't alive anymore in basketball, is it?
Jarrett was kind of teasing me in our 2 games last night because I was applauding someone for jump stopping at about the volleyball line and making a little 8-footer. He says, you like that jump stop, don't you? And yeah, you get under control and you're able to make a good basketball decision.
Well, and the point I always make about it, Clark, is if you see that defender coming up, and why drive in and go after him? Why don't you just pull up and hit that little short jump?
Yeah, make it easy on yourself.
Exactly.
Right, make it easy on yourself. That little Trey Galloway at IU has this little kind of running floater that he's been doing this year, and it's really effective.
3 in the corner is no good as Tiki can't get it to fall. So right now the Cadets hanging right in there as they will have the basketball here with 1:37 to go. Again, we like that South Dearborn defense right up in your grill. Drive to the basket, left hand off the glass, good. Jude Johnson has 4.
Yeah, getting him back in the game, and he's made a difference for this cadet team. He's got 4 points, and each of those baskets have been strong drives, finishing with his left hand.
Here's Willoughby. Of course, he has all but 2 points for South Dearborn here early. 60 seconds remaining. Shackelford.
It makes you think, Troy, if Cascade will maybe do a gimmick defense or box in one or just face guard Willoughby wherever he goes and try to deny him the ball, because obviously he's been their main source of offense here this whole first quarter.
Reed Thornton in the ball game here for the Knights, a 5'11 junior. Hear the applause, Cascade liking the defensive play as the drive and a jump ball. Willoughby trying to drive in, and the possession arrow will go to Cascade.
Yeah, nice job by Connor Sanders staying in front of Willoughby and tying it up. As we take a look at this replay, here's that drive by Johnson. Again, straight down the line, right down the lane for the basket.
I can tell you this, we have seen some really good young players throughout this tournament. Think about just even the last game we had moments ago and had a chance to watch a lot with Milan and South Ripley. They had a lot of good sophomores in both those teams. Clock is down to its final 14 seconds. Ball knocked out of bounds, as you saw Willoughby right there. I say that when you think about Jude Johnson, he's just a freshman.
The Cascade's got 3 freshmen on their roster here for the tournament.
Yeah,
so.
They sure do.
Oh, nice spin move.
Oh, then he got it behind his back, got a trap, 2 seconds, and they'll have to hurry, and they get it at the buzzer. Tiki puts 2 on the board as time runs out. After 1, South Dearborn leads it by 4.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners, because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Today's game brought to you in part by Industrial Sales Associates. They've been an electromechanical component manufacturer's representative for Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, and Eastern Tennessee for years. Good luck to all the teams during this sports season. For more information, give them a call at 317-546-1900. If you want to make one correction, it looks like Devin Weigel is wearing number 23, not number 22, as we had in the program. Now you see the cadets in a little zone.
Yeah, change of pace. And if you're South Dearborn, you're trying to get Willoughby in the middle of this zone and let him make a choice whether to attack or look opposite.
How about that? Willoughby off the glass, missed it. Rebound by Johnson there for the cadets.
A strong rebound in traffic there by Johnson. Cascade, it seems as that first quarter went on, Troy, got a little more comfortable with what they were trying to get and gained some confidence as the quarter went on. They were down 10-4 early, and if it wasn't for a late turnover there to end the quarter, really got into the game a little bit better.
Nice pass inside, a lot of contact, offensive rebound, put back, good by Tharp.
Tharp, 6 points, really having a nice game so far.
Just like that, the lead now at 2. Willoughby takes the entry, the quick kick out, and the 3 is missed as Corbin Cassidy in the lineup.
Cassidy following his shot. good job by him recognizing that the ball was short and going after his own miss.
Skip pass, Willoughby. Quick entry pass and turnover, number 2 now for South Dearborn. Well, they had the right look there, just unable to hold on to it.
South Dearborn's going to have to find someone else to carry some of the offensive burden for the Knights. Tiki can shoot the ball really well. I think he just has so many point guard responsibilities. 3
turnovers now by Cascade. Wide open again on the wing, and this time he doesn't miss as Cassidy gets his first bucket of the day.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. If they can get another scorer out there along with Tiki to help Willoughby, that'll help their offense tremendously.
I can tell you this right now, that Clark, if he could have any kind of a maybe side gig, it would be at halftime, go out and teach some of these guys how to shoot a little bit more. Huh?
I'm a shot doctor.
Got that right.
Self-proclaimed, though.
Son, let me show you how this is done. Clark Chafin special.
They got a shooting camp.
That's right. 5-point lead now for South Dearborn. Cadets really working for everything they're getting. A line drive shot missed.
That was
by
good.
Jonas
yeah,
Johnson.
That was good offense, Troy. Ball went inside. They swung it around the perimeter without any dribbles. Got a good 3-point shot in rhythm. Just didn't fall, but good offense there and good defense by South Dearborn to come away with that rebound.
By the way, Cassidy coming out of the lineup. Also coming out for Cascade will be Jonas Johnson. He just picked up the foul moments ago. We'll see Connor Sanders come back in for the Cadets. And now you're going to see a Knights team that can build on a 5-point lead here in period number 2. 3 turnovers for Cascade, 2 turnovers now for South Dearborn.
Now notice the adjustment here, Troy, for South Dearborn. They put Schwab, their 6'4" player, on the inside and put Willoughby on the perimeter. So let's see if that will open up a driving lane for Willoughby or maybe possibly a weak side flash from the ball on the other side against the zone.
Reed Thornton missed that 3 badly. You know, Cascade, I watched them in that zone. They shifted so far over that Reed Cassidy was wide open on this near side. Sometimes you can shift that defense a little bit too far.
Yeah, in a zone, I think the main thing that you want to see and do is just be able to talk and communicate. It's such an underrated aspect of basketball in general, in my opinion, but you got to be able to know where people are because you're playing spots.
Got a whistle and a foul on the pass, and that's going to go against Brody Tiki. It's only his first, 3rd team foul. You know, you're getting very close now after this holiday session, as that's another turnover for Cascade, where many of these teams are getting close to the halfway point, which is hard to believe. Girls basketball is
a month away.
Yeah,
they've got probably 5 or 6 games, maybe 7 or 8 games left. Yeah, if we look at this is South Dearborn, their 11th game of the season now. I know when I played it, we always played a 20-game schedule no matter what. And we didn't have these holiday tournaments. Yeah. After Christmas, we played every Friday and Saturday when I played. But these holiday tournaments are nice. It gives them kind of a IHSAA tournament feel, right, to have 2 games in a day.
Exactly. Good entry pass and the basket good by Schwab. This will be a full timeout. It's a 7-point lead.
Warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Today's game brought to you in part by Aspen Creek Grill. Feel like treating someone special to a delicious meal from Aspen Creek? We're still waiting for our gift certificates from Keith.
I'm telling you.
We might be waiting a long
Kung
time.
Pao chicken.
No kidding. Next time you come in for dinner, buy some gift cards, share with your friends. Aspen Creek Grill has great food. And yes, try the powwow shrimp. Aspen Creek, located in Noblesville.
Troy South Dearborn on a 5-0 run here was 14-12. And a little 5-0 spurt. Now they change defenses after that timeout and go to a 1-3-1 to try to change the pace for the Cadets.
Well, you better be ready to face that 1-3-1 because you don't see it very often. Drive down the lane, and that will put Connor Sanders at the line for 2.
Thought he might have got away with a travel. I thought he picked that pivot foot up before he dribbled, but got down the lane. Tall, athletic young man going to the free throw line. Already has 2 points on the night.
This will be his first trip. In fact, the entire team of Cascade has not made it at the free throw line yet. Take another look at it right here. Let's find out, Clark. Are you correct? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
It's pretty close, but he took some steps and got to the basket and absorbed that contact, earns that trip to the free throw line. Connor had 8 points in yesterday's matchup against Covenant Christian in their second game.
Toby Savini is now in a freshman for Cascade. He wears number 3. Second free throw good. Sanders has 3. Lead at 6. Here's Tiki for 3 good.
And that's what he can do. He's got in the gym range, Troy. He can fill it up from about the volleyball line. It was a nice play there, how he kind of rejected that ball screen, freed up some area on his right side, no less, so he can step into that three-point ball and drill it.
That 9-point lead, now your biggest of the ball game. Savini with a basketball. How about that one? You maneuver down the lane and then you miss it as Sanders can't complete it. Tiki, that now I can pretty much guarantee that was a travel.
You got a little excited. Just need one more bounce because I think he wanted to get a little bit closer. But if we take a look at this instant replay here, he kind of rejects the ball screen, a nice change direction behind the back dribble. It gets him right in rhythm to go up to that 3 and knock it down.
You know, if I saw that one again, I think he traveled there too.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he took a little extra step. Just a teeny one.
Just a teeny. Well, that's all it takes is just a little extra step. Nice floater there. A running shot there by Dodson.
That's his first basket. See, I'm very particular in making sure when I'm officiating, I get all the details.
Well, and that's important, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have details.
You don't pay me the high money not to get the details. Tiki with the basketball, lead at 7. Entry pass, bucket, good, Willoughby.
And that's what they did a lot yesterday against the zone. They'll clear it to one side, and they'll either set a cross screen or let Willoughby just kind of dive to the opposite block or from the opposite block and kind of sneak in behind the defense. And he's able to work that play really well and score a lot of points out of it.
You know, you're under 2 minutes now, and if you're Cascade, you don't want to fall down too much further. Nice drive to the basket, bucket, good by Dodson again.
Dodson's come off the bench and really provided a spark. He had a nice little pass earlier that led to a basket, so a nice assist, and he's got back-to-back buckets here. So some good bench contribution from the Cadets.
I was going to say the one thing about it, when you're only scoring 43 a game, you don't want to fall down too far because you don't have that kind of firepower right now.
Yeah, it's like a football team with a running offense. If they get down a couple scores, it's kind of tough.
Boy, missing the easy shot inside, but then getting the rebound is Schwab, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Good job for Schwab to stay after that missed shot. Gets frustrating when you miss one that close, but he was able to go after the rebound and draw the foul and go to the free throw line.
Sanders picks up the foul, his first. Xander Schwab now with 3.
Schwab's a 37% shooter from three-point range, so you got to figure these free throws should be pretty easy for him to be able to shoot from that high of percentage.
Yeah, but guys that shoot like that, well, like you, getting in close is not an easy thing to do. You're usually out there, 23, 24 feet, not 15.
As soon as I got off the bus, I was guarded.
You thought it was kind of personal they did that, huh?
It's kind of a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Right?
Let me get dressed first, at least.
Let me tie my shoes.
They call it the Clark Chapin rule. Skip pass. Cadets work it to Savini. Ball loose. Turnover. Back the other way we go, and Willoughby will go to the line for 2.
Willoughby sized up that situation. First of all, he had a great deflection and was then able to control it and continue to attack. It was kind of a 2-on-2 situation, and he's able to size it up. He looked at the defender and knew that he was the bigger player and decided to go ahead and attack, as we see it right here on the instant replay. Able to, right here, you kind of look and see, okay, I've got a couple inches. And takes it strong to the basket.
You know, there's some players you just look at and you go, yeah, he's a basketball player.
Yeah, yes, he's one of them. He's got a very nice basketball IQ, which I think that's a high compliment. That means you know how to play the game.
Yeah, got away with another travel, off-balance shot, good by Sanders.
Sanders with 5 in the middle of that 1-3-1 and attacked.
Right here, the Knights will undoubtedly hold for 1. Now, don't do a John Morant here and start walking with it before you put it on the floor. Or any of the other NBA players who think, I'll just take 2 steps and then we'll put it on the floor.
Well, they'll probably get something going here with about 10 seconds.
Here is Tiki. Hand off to Shackelford. In the corner, they'll dump it down to Willoughby. Willoughby double team, got the shot up but could not get it in. We will head to the locker room as South Dearborn leads it 28-19, but give Cascade credit. They're hanging right in there despite South Dearborn getting that lead into double digits a couple of times.
Yeah, South Dearborn had a nice run, got it to 22-13 there at one point, but they stuck around, got some good baskets against that 1-3-1, and have it within single digits.
All right, we'll take a timeout. Halftime report coming up, 28-19 here at the half.
We can't have NBA basketball without the ball itself. So today we are going to go balls deep into the history of the ball, starting all the way back to the game's inception. Let's begin the animated timeline. The game of basketball was invented in the year 1891. Dr. James Naismith was its creator. Now, the game back then was much different than it is today. I'll save the evolution of the game itself for a later video. This video's topic is the balls. And the ball in 1891 was, well, a soccer ball. Now, soccer balls themselves were built a little different than they are today, but the important takeaway is that this ball actually wasn't used for dribbling. Dribbling wasn't a concept for basketball until 1897. As the game became more popular and grew, the ball had no business being a soccer ball. So in 1894, Dr. James Naismith reached out to A.G. Spalding to invent the first basketball ball. Spalding at the time was famous for making American footballs and Major League Baseball gloves. And you can totally see the inspiration of the design, as this ball is laced up at the center like a football. Fun fact about this ball specifically, to celebrate its 125th anniversary, Spalding remade the ball in 2019 around the same time as the Raptors-Warriors finals. As the years went on, basketball got so popular it was able to have its own league formed around the sport. And in 1937, the NBL, or National Basketball League, was formed in the United States, and they needed their own NBL ball. This ball was no longer built like a pigskin football, as the laces are removed for optimal dribbling. The NBA, National Basketball Association, was founded in 1946, but it wasn't till around 1950 when the game got a much upgraded ball. The game got so popular that it started bringing attention of many new fans showing up to watch the games. Keeping up with, spectating, and watching the pace of the game as a fan was difficult, as the brown ball color was hard to keep up with rapid court movement on the brown floor. So around 1950, the ball was remade into an orange ball. The orange ball was much more flashy and visually appealing to fans, as they can easily see it dart around the court. Decades later, the game ball kept evolving. Around 1970, 1971, the NBA changed the design of the ball from 4 leather panels to 8 leather panels. Having 8 leather panels instead of 4 allowed for a much better grip on the ball itself for better dribbling techniques. And 1 year later in 72, the first synthetic leather ball was made, which made producing the ball much cheaper. And now we bring you the iconic NBA ball that many of you know and love, the 1984 Spalding Larry O'Brien official Spalding ball. To quote Heritage Auctions, Wilson had the NBA contract to produce basketballs, which ended following the '83 finals. Also moving out of the office of commissioner was Larry O'Brien. Eventually, Spalding picked up the contract and David Stern assumed the role as top man on February 1st, 1984. This ball is the ball of choice that many fans around the world prefer while playing basketball. Moving on to a slight adaptation of this ball was that failure of a ball in 2006. This '06 ball was made out of cross-traction microfiber, but the ball only lasted for the beginning of the season, as many players complained that it roughed up their fingers, skin, and was overall a terrible ball. The ball was quickly discontinued, and the NBA went back to the classic leather ball. Going forward in the future, coming up for the 2021-2022 NBA season, Wilson will replace Spalding as the official NBA basketball. Now, the leather used for the balls themselves will still come from the same provider, so they won't physically feel any much different. Also, the balls will keep their 8-panel configuration and performance specifics as the ball that is currently used, so it's pretty much the same game with a different name.
We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAFoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Welcome back to Morristown High School at the Hive. Halftime, we have South Dearborn ahead 28-19 over Cascade Cadet. Our halftime guest is a Morristown athlete. Go ahead and introduce yourself, if you would, Maddie, and the sport that you play.
I'm Madison Espick, and I play volleyball at Morristown.
And Maddie is an outside hitter and defensive specialist, right?
Yep.
Which one do you like doing better?
I like defense better. It comes more natural.
More natural, okay. So tell us about your season at Morristown, obviously a part of the Mid-Hoosier Conference. Tell us how that went.
It wasn't too good of a season. It was kind of one of our off seasons. We lost our senior setter, so we had to pull up a freshman to set, and we had a lot of injuries, so it wasn't too good.
Well, having that freshman setter will help, though, next year when you're a senior, right? She'll have a year of experience under your belt, and hopefully no injuries. What was your sectional like? Who did you play in sectional, and where was that at?
We played sectionals at Waldron, and first we played Southwestern, I believe, and then we played Waldron first, our rival, and we lost to them, so that was big.
Now, how did you fare against Waldron in the regular season?
It was a close game.
5-setter?
It was close, but we lost.
Well, there's fuel for the fire for next year. Tell us a little bit about school, Maddie, and what are your activities outside of school, maybe favorite subjects, things that you like to do?
I'm in the Sunshine Society.
Well, what's that?
It's a society where it's mostly like based on women, and so we like thank women in the community and just do like sub-community service stuff.
Oh, nice. And so you're able to go out to maybe local businesses and something and reward those women for kind of what they do?
We do like women outside of school and in school, like teachers and other staff members, and we give them gifts around the holidays. So.
Oh, that's great. Well, Tom Workman, I know Tom Workman, Mr. Morristown himself, and he would be deserving of any award. Well, maybe not deserving, Tom Workman. But what's your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject is English.
English.
Yeah.
Are you a good writer of essays? Do you like to write or read the books? Or
I'm reading a book right now, and I just finished reading a book. I like to write essays. It's decent.
Good for you. So that could be what might be like a future occupation for you? What kind of field do you think that you might want to venture into in the professional world?
I'm probably thinking right now I'm working to get my CNA license, so something in the medical field, I believe.
Well, the medical profession is always in need of good workers and people that certainly provide a great service for everyone really in general. Anything else? You're vice president of your class as well?
Yep. I do a lot of stuff with student council.
And and therefore you're a leader of the one of the leaders of the school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's fantastic. Well, Maddie, we thank you for your time to be able to come on and share some of your experiences here at Morristown. How is it going to a small school? I mean, I know that's probably all you've known to this point, but I mean, what are benefits of going to such a small school, a little 1A school like Morristown?
It's a family. Like, everybody's really close. You're friends with everybody, but, you know, word gets around quick. So, but no, it's nice having a family that's small.
Well, that's outstanding, Maddie. We thank you for joining us, and we're going to take a short break before we get started here with second half action. South Dearborn 28, Cascade 19, here on IndianaSRN.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want. Back here at Morristown as we're ready for the third quarter, and an excellent job there in that halftime interview, Clark.
Maddie did a great job,
Yeah.
and she was a little shy and not sure, but it's nice to get someone that's of a student body, a student athlete, that encompasses what it's about here at Morristown.
How about that line drive basket, and Jonas Johnson hitting the three.
Johnson's first points off the board. What a way to come out of the second half there, knock down a three and immediately cut the lead to 6.
Isn't it funny how some of those shots you throw up there and you're like, I really didn't mean for that to line drive, and it still goes in, yet if I shot it perfect, it'd miss.
Or if you're the coach and you're like, oh no, yes!
Yes, I meant to draw it up like that. Yeah. That's what I did in my career a lot. You know.
Well, there you get a turnover after the three. You get another basket to fall, and this game has changed quite a bit.
Well, they're going to work that left wing again. Another three on the way, and good. Jude Johnson this time, and how about that?
Right back at him. All of a sudden, a 6-point run, and you've cut it to one possession. Got a little more bounce in your step. Defense is a little bit more intense and a little easier when you're starting to make a run.
Boy, and almost another turnover there, but they're going to call the foul instead on Nick Parsons, his second.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought Tiki might have been a little bit out of control there, but I think Parsons maybe went down with his arm, and that's what the official called. But you can tell Cascade is fired up, ready for this second half.
And I'm sure people get tired of me saying this, but how often I mention how you finish at half and how you start a half. How important that is. You go into the locker room, momentum or not. You come out, momentum or not. You know, just.
And momentum's such a huge thing, especially in high schools, but sports in general, right? I mean, It doesn't matter what level.
Here's Willoughby. Took that little extra step, come to that jump stop. You got to do something with it.
You just drug that pivot foot, anticipating a cut, and the cut wasn't there. 2 turnovers out of the gate for South Dearborn here to start the second half. And Cascade's 2 for 2 from behind the 3-point line.
By the way, they have 6 turnovers, 5 by Cascade. And now Cascade has an opportunity to perhaps tie the ball game. The kick out, the three on the way, and it is tied just like that. Jonas Johnson again.
Well, and you really like that, Troy, because that came from a paint touch. You had a nice drive by Jude Johnson and saw the defense. Everybody collapsed. Johnson connection for three.
You know what? Our producer
He's on it.
He's on it. Johnson and Johnson. You know, but if we had his money, I'd burn mine, that's for sure. As much money as he's making over these 2 days, he needs a bodyguard leaving here. Willoughby drives, misses. This could be a potential 12-0 run. If my math is correct, 4 threes is 12, right?
4 threes is 12. You passed third grade math.
You got that right. Even in the great state of Wyoming, we did math down there.
Well, there was some pressure on that, though.
There was. Let's see,
was.
3, 3, 3, 3. Little do people know I did pull out my calculator.
he ran out of fingers and toes.
That's right. Near steal. Right side drive Parsons, and another foul. We'll take it out underneath.
You can see, though, how Cascade is their offense is a little more spread out. They're being able to attack. They've grown comfortable now in this game, and you knock down shots, you're going to gain confidence.
Well, it has been all Cascade in the first 3 minutes. Hard to believe this was 28-19. There's a turnover. Back the other way. Willoughby ends the run.
Yeah, the guy that's really had an answer for the Knights all night and all game long. He has 16 of their 30. As we see his deflection here and still, Troy, just able to get a hand in the passing lane and beat all the defenders down the floor. That's, he's fast when he can do that with a basketball.
So after a 9-0 run, South Dearborn able to regain the lead here in the third. This is the third place game. Championship coming up at 7. Little jump hook in the lane, missed. Offensive rebound there by Jonas Johnson. Cascade just hustling to the basketball. Trapped in the corner. Baseball pass out of it. There's Jude Johnson. Ooh, my. Jude Johnson may have gotten away with a little left hand hook right there to knock Tiki to the floor.
Tiki had his hand in the cookie jar, knocked it loose. Jude Johnson reacts. Could have gotten the foul there, but they'll call the ball off Tiki, and he'll stay with the Cadets.
Of course, Clark, in our day when you and I played, we were really tough, and it was very physical,
yes,
wasn't it?
It was.
Turnover back the other way. That's 7 now for Cascade. Block shot, able to get it back and missing that one. Close to the basket, Schwab again. Here come the Cadets. They'll run the floor the other way, and there's definite contact there as Parsons will go to the line for 2.
A potential 4-point play there out of Nick Parsons. He had the block on the other end, and that led to a miss. Was able to kind of get the loose ball, 50-50 ball, and then draw the contact on the foul in transition. This could be a 4-point play in a sense.
Parsons hits the first. We will see Reed Thornton come in, and also coming in for South Dearborn is Adam Gaynor.
Nice job there by Parsons, as we said, taking that 50-50 loose ball all the way to the basket and getting the foul on Kunkel.
Second one missed. They're now 2 for 4 from the line. It remains a 1-point game here in the third period. Tiki with 5. Mentioned Kunkel has a couple of points. 3 points by Cassidy, 4 by Schwab, and then all the rest of the points by Willoughby.
Yeah.
Boy, he nearly traveled with it. One more step, he'd have drug that pivot foot, huh? There's a turnover. Back the other way, and a foul call, and that's going to put Johnson at the line for 2.
Yeah, this is what we saw from a different role reversal. At the beginning of the game, we saw South Dearborn in the passing lanes and getting deflections. Now, after halftime, we're seeing Cascade coming up with those defensive stops and steals in transition. And you have now Jonas Johnson, who's hit 2 threes, come with a free throw and now has 7 points. This is what, I kind of talked about at the beginning of the game, Troy. Cascade, it's kind of a lot of parts. They don't have one person that's going to be a Willoughby and get you 16 or 15 and a half, but they've got 4 or 5 guys that can get about 10 points and really do some damage.
Only shooting 50% from the free throw line as they missed the second of 2. So we're still at 30 apiece. Gaynor stops, 15-footer straight away.
Wow,
good.
Nice. Adam Gaynor, 2 pump fakes. A little kind of soft left-handed 15-footer as you described, Troy. Nothing but the bottom.
Still Cascade, chance to take the lead with a 3. And there's a steal by Tiki. Tiki will take it the distance and lay it in. Boy, if you turn your back on those little guards, they'll take it from you.
Well, and that's the problem, I think, when you have a 6'4", 6'5" guy that's a big guy that is on the perimeter, maybe not used to handling it out there so much. He did a little spin move. Tiki read it perfectly and picked his pocket from behind, came in for the easy steal.
Lead at 4. Nice drive. Bucket good by Jonas Johnson, and he's coming alive.
He's had a nice quarter. Nine of his points. All 9 of his points.
6 different players now have scored for Cascade in this one, but they trail it by 2 here in period 3. Willoughby trying to find an opening, takes it baseline, leans in, got bumped at the last second. Foul will be called on Sanders.
Let's take a look, Troy, at that picked by Tiki. As you had the drive by the Cadet player, and again, once he turns his back to him, Tiki takes advantage and comes in for the steal.
Clark, I would imagine that though you had the great shooting ability and your overall game was excellent, that you ever put the ball on the floor and those little guys take it. Did you ever get mad at them? And you should.
Yes.
That's not fair.
It isn't. It isn't. I'm sorry I'm 6'4" and you're not.
Shouldn't allow you to come from behind and steal it from me.
No, it's not fair. I don't hold it over your head and say jump and try to get it.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you. It's not your fault that you're, shouldn't be challenged like that. 36-32. But again, when I become emperor, we're changing some things.
I can't wait for that to happen. I like some of your ideas. That ball's tipped. Good hustle.
Yeah, partially blocked on that one. Tiki quickly back the other way. It's funny, you're open to my ideas. Keith never is.
There are some that we've talked about before the game that, I'm really intrigued. The baseball one, though, blew my mind.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what most people say when I tell them about that. It blows my mind. We got a foul call. They're going to get Sanders his 3rd. Keith didn't like the shot clock in high school basketball till we went to the IHSAA tournament, and I said, watch this, and he was excited.
Right. Well, and even the way all these teams play now, modern basketball's 5 out. It's a different game than North Carolina's 4 corners.
Yeah.
Right. It's evolved, and I would even like to see the high school 3-point line move back maybe a foot or so. It's such now a big gap between high school and college as Tiki comes up a little short on his 3.
Tiki would like that moved in a foot.
He would have made it.
He would have. Off balance shot missed. And we've got a traveling call on the rebound. South Dearborn, their 8th turnover.
That's one of those big guys get the ball and they bring it below the waist and makes everybody their size. I feel you, Xander Schwab.
So we're under a minute remaining.
Well, in South Dearborn here, Troy, they've taken this Cascade punch here, so to speak, after halftime, and they've responded with a little 4-0 run. It was 30-30 at one point. So,
although Tiki picked up his 3rd, he has 3. Kunkel has 3, and there's a travel the other way. So that is the 9th turnover for the Cadets.
And with 43.8 seconds, possibly last shot here for South Dearborn to secure the lead heading into the final quarter.
South Dearborn played for 1 at the end of the first half.
And notice that Willoughby's getting a little breather here, so I wonder who's going to be able to take this shot. If it was me, I would run some screens here for Tiki and give him a chance to get a shot. Maybe the timeout here by Coach Cosgrove might draw something up or Willoughby's checking in the game.
I want to remind you today's game brought to you in part by Ref Reps. It's designed in partnership with numerous state high school associations, helping officials to hone their skills and promote unity in the officiating world. Ref Reps is for the new official as well as the seasoned veteran. Contact them at refreps.com. I like how they use seasoned veteran, the old guys.
Yes.
Seasoned
veteran.
Make sure you stay right here. By the way, championship game coming up at 7 o'clock tonight.
That'll be a dandy.
Yeah.
That'll be a dandy. It was a couple of weeks ago. It was we kind of mentioned this pregame. It was the silent night, first ever silent night at Covenant Christian. And it was a low-scoring back-and-forth game until about the fourth quarter when Covenant's defense, and you saw that defense yesterday, they can really turn it up when they want to. And they pulled out a big fourth quarter and sealed the game for them.
By the way, that silent night is you got to get to a certain amount of points before you cheer.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, when Clark did the silent night, he scored in the first three minutes, and it was over. They didn't have any more fun left.
There was no silence.
Yeah. Here's Willoughby. Shot way off the mark. Rebound. Cadets get the shot off, but that's going to do it. That one nearly went in. That's going to do it after 3, 36-32.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Cadets, by the way, outscoring South Dearborn 13-8 in that quarter. Now, that doesn't seem like much, but you got to remember they were down by 9 at halftime. And you made a good point at halftime. Somebody besides Willoughby is going to have to score for South Dearborn. He has 18 of their 36, and maybe Tiki's that guy, but they got to find somebody else to run the point.
Yeah, and Tiki has a lot of ball handling responsibilities, whether it's breaking a press or getting everybody just in the right spot in offense, recognizing if it's zone or man. He's got a lot in his plate.
Good look here at Shackelford. We'll be naming the Piper Logistics Player of, Clark will, the Piper Logistics Player of the Game. So that way, if we get any people who don't like the decision, I can just blame you.
I'm used to it.
That's right.
I live in a house full of women. I'm always the one that's to blame. Even the dog.
Even the dog,
Even the dog.
It's his fault.
She'll just look at me and, yeah.
So here is Willoughby at the line, 18 points. Taking another look at this last foul.
And again, just something he's been doing a lot is just a strong drive to the basket. And what he does really well is he initiates contact. He leads with that shoulder, puts that shoulder kind of into the sternum of the defensive player, so those hands have to collapse and go forwards. And that's going to get him the benefit of the call and get him to the free throw line.
He is at 5 now. So as you said a little bit ago, South Dearborn able to survive that huge run by Cascade. They'll get another opportunity. Step back 3 on the way, in and out by Dodson. And they cannot save it from going out of bounds. It'll go back now to the Knights.
Poor Dodson should at least get 1.5 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing was in and out. It was a good look. A nice step back, cleared some space, but didn't get it to fall. You can think of Willoughby now, 19 points. He's 8 of 10 from the free throw line. So, you know, in the closing minutes, we think of the fourth quarter in a close game. Who do you want the ball in the hands of? Willoughby's got to be someone that, from the free throw line, from that standpoint, you want.
Here's your three on the way by Tiki. No good. I was going to tell you a little bit ago, we went to Evansville a couple weeks ago, did a tournament down there. And the one thing that I noticed we did not have in all the games I did, 1 3-second call.
Yeah.
And then when I watched the next couple of games, there was only one. I've seen 2 3-second calls this whole season.
Yeah, that's not a point of emphasis. I would, but there's no one
Nobody
in the lane.
down there.
There's
yeah.
nobody in the lane.
Yeah.
And that's the modern day basketball, with everyone kind of being the same height and having that. It's positionless basketball. As you see a nice driving kick, and Jonas Johnson now in double figures with 11.
Does that mean the lead official doesn't have to work as hard? Because that's how I feel down there anymore. And I'm like, there's nothing going on down here.
Nothing going on.
Back to a 3-point lead. Willoughby on the drive. He'll go back to the line again.
I would almost double team him just to get it out of his hands.
Yeah.
I mean, he's that much of a factor of their offense. So he's got 19 of their 37, so he's got half of their points or a little more.
Jonas Johnson picks up his second. Sanders, by the way, for Cascade has 3. Oh, he's missed 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
Here's the replay.
Yeah, again, he's just driving hard, and the fact that he shoots the 3 so well, you have to respect that. You know, that's the old coaches saying, you make a shooter drive and a driver shoot.
That's right.
Well, you got to respect that 3-point shot, and he's got enough of game to be able to drive.
Well, he missed them both, and then he got his shot blocked in the corner. Tharp.
A nice play there by Tharp.
You know, Bill Russell used to block those and keep them in play. So.
Well, Bill Russell had about 75 rings, too. Good closeout by Tharp. Now, if you're Willoughby, and if he's got nice basketball IQ, you're going to shot fake.
That's right.
Right, when they come running at you. Now you're going to pump fake, and you're going to have 15 feet in front of you to go.
You know, I'm still waiting to see somebody do the Dan Issel shot fake.
Well, I'm not familiar with that
Well,
one.
I'm going to have to show that to you.
I can't wait.
I will. You're going to love it.
I'm sure I will.
You remember Dan Issel, don't you? Yeah. I asked my younger colleagues.
Well, I remember him as a coach.
Yeah.
He was an NBA coach.
And he played for the Nuggets and the Kentucky Colonels and played at Kentucky. Yeah.
The old ABA days.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue ball.
Jarrett, your partner last night, he thought I was talking Russian when I mentioned Dan Issel. Those young guys, they just don't know, do they?
No.
Still a 3-point lead, and there's a traveling call, and that'll be turnover number 9 now for the Knights.
Well, that was a long possession, and really they kind of had the ball in a really good spot, and Tiki was even cutting around. They just couldn't hold that pivot foot and drug it and got to travel. If you're Cascade, you're in a really good spot here yourself. I mean, only down 3, all good defensive play.
Tiki with the steal. Willoughby runs the floor and lays it in.
A nice bounce pass as well. Good job by Tiki to see the floor.
By the way, Cascade now with 10 turnovers.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
High post Tharp. Tharp, 2 dribbles, gives it up to Dodson.
There you go.
In the corner, here is Jonas Johnson for 3. Battle for the rebound. Cascade gets it back. Dodson straight away, good. And Cascade is going to get a timeout right here. We'll wait and see if it'll be a 30 or a full, and it's going to be a 30-second timeout. Today's game brought to you in part by Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. It's a new spot for breakfast or lunch. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Try the classic breakfast. They also have sweet baked goods located in Lawrence. Coach recommends the Sloppy Joes with extra pickles. By the way, he likes ketchup on that, too. Check out Tam's at 6427 Oaklandon Road. For carry-out service, give them a call at 317-760-1640. And let's take a look at that last steal.
Yeah, it was just extra effort replay here. There was a steal there by Tiki. He was able to really surprised he didn't get fouled because he used the wrong hand to get that deflection. But I like how he bounced through a bounce pass. I'm a big bounce pass fan, Troy. Threw a nice bounce pass to Willoughby, led him to the basket. Willoughby now has 21.
By the way, for any of you coaches that are watching, if you do any drills in the beginning of the game and you're not doing some bounce pass drills, don't let Clark see that.
I'll notice.
He will call you out immediately.
Well, what's the worst thing can happen on a bounce pass? They kick it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a turnover.
Nice steal by Jude Johnson.
Each team with 10, and it appears this thing's going to come right down to the wire. The drive offensive foul against Jonas Johnson, his third.
Willoughby in the right spot. Good defensive positioning. Got between the ball and the goal. You see it right there. Perfectly set up. Great spot by the official. That lead official had a call to make there. No 3-second, right? He was in the right spot, jumping to the ball. Took the charge.
First one he's had down there, though, I think. So now 2-point lead. Willoughby for three, good.
And that's where he's dangerous because he's been driving all night, and then he drills his second three of the game. He's been taking the ball to the basket so hard. He's got 12 free throw attempts. That puts him at 24, Troy.
By the way, I should mention we had a 37-point performance earlier today.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Here's a three straight away, no good by Tharp. And the rebound, Shackelberg comes away with it. Under 3 minutes here in a couple of moments, and the next thing you know, we're going to be in crunch time. Boy, but you got to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, if you're Cascade, there's plenty of time, but each possession becomes very valuable right now. You want to get you don't want empty possessions. You want to get a good, clean shot and a good look here. I think Jonas Johnson's got 11 all in the second half.
Good ball movement, wide open, top of the key. I think he might have been on the line, though, Tharp. It would have been a 2.
I thought Jonas was a little unselfish there. I'd like to see him shoot that one from the corner. He's knocked down 2 threes in the second half.
Yeah, you don't mind the extra pass, but when you got the shot, take it, right? Now if you're South Dearborn, you can run some clock right here. Unfortunately, though, we got a foul away from the basketball as they got Tiki, and that's going to be his 4th.
Yeah, they just got him on a little cross screen, a moving screen. And now it's also going to put both teams in the penalty, Troy.
So that could be big. And we've got a timeout called by Cascade. And let's see if this will be a full timeout or a 30. It's going to be a full timeout, 5-point lead for South Dearborn.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Today's game brought to you in part by Pat Cherry Insurance Agency. We suggest you contact him for all your insurance needs. Family, car, business, or home. An insurance company to serve you. For more information, call them at 317-894-7000. And by Jack's Donuts. They have great donuts made and served fresh every day. And great tasting coffee. Stop by at Jack's Donuts. In fact, 9105 East 56th Street or Jack's in your neighborhood. Jack's Donuts, the official donut of IndianaSRN.
Certainly is. And I tell you, that was a big foul on Brody Tiki because he's got 4 fouls. We've talked all game about how critical he is at the ball handling duties. He's going to have to play very smart here on defense. He's got a few steals by being aggressive and getting after the ball.
Big turnover, 2-on-1 break back the other way, and a foul to prevent the basket. Cascade now with 12 turnovers, and right now you would say none bigger than that one.
Good job by Willoughby on the ball defense. Getting that basketball IQ, those quick hands. He's able to get the steal.
Shackelford will miss that one. Take a look at it.
Yeah, there he is. Just gets a deflection. Nice up look ahead pass to Shackelford. And good hustle by the Cadet player to make that an empty possession as Shackelford missed both free throws.
They missed 5 free throws here in the fourth quarter. Ooh, there's a travel. So that's 13 turnovers now.
Just lost control of the ball there on the dribble. I tell you, he was in the right spot, right in the middle of the defense where he could make a lot of things happen for his team. Now you got a minute and a half left. If you're South Dearborn, the clock's your friend. Let that thing keep running.
Near steal. That is Jonas Johnson trying to get the takeaways. This will be Shackelford, and the foul called out front on Jonas. That'll be his 4th.
I know that's his 4th, but I don't mind that foul because you're aggressive and it's a 2-possession game. If you're Cascade, you've got to extend it, the game to a point. So I like that foul.
Well, and if you're on the other side now, you need to make some free throws here.
Yeah, Shackelford 0 for 2.
You had the 2 misses. In fact, Willoughby missed 3, and then he had Shackelford missing 2, and now he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. So we're talking about 6 points laid right off the board just like that. Cascade will call another timeout as they trail it by 5. This will be a 30-second timeout. I want to remind you, sportsmanship is the fair and generous behavior or treatment of others. Be good, be a good sport, respect our coaches, players, officials, fans, and your broadcasters. IndianaSRN and the Indiana State Officials Association knows sportsmanship begins with you. You notice how I always get us in there.
It does. It begins with us. Hey, a minute and 11 left. If you're Cascade, you don't necessarily need a 3 here. Go to the basket, go strong. If a good opportunity presents itself on a driving kick and someone's in rhythm and it's a good shot, by all means shoot it, but it's not a necessity to shoot a 3-point shot here. You can take the ball to the basket. I don't know how many timeouts they have left, but then you can set up in some full court pressure, maybe even draw a foul and get to the free throw line as well.
Looks like Cascade has 2 remaining and South Dearborn has 4. So we're up on 60 seconds. Entry pass down on the low block, the kick out. Here's the 3 on the way. Got stuck between the backboard and the rim, and the jump ball will go to Cascade. That was shot by Parsons, still looking for his first basket.
Boy, and that was a good look. They had what they wanted. They got the ball down low to Weigel on the block. Weigel had a one-on-one move. They kind of came with a double team. He looked opposite, exactly what you're supposed to do on the block. Parsons just couldn't finish, or make the shot, rather.
Weigel, the kick out. Here is Jonas Johnson for 3. Missed it. Willoughby up to get the rebound. He gets fouled in the backcourt. I think they'll get Jonas. If he is done. That's foul number 5.
Yeah, Jonas Johnson, 11 points, and it's all in the second half. A good effort by him. A couple of those shots in and out. Willoughby to the free throw line where he's 8 of 12 so far, but as you said, Troy, he's missed his last 3.
And as a team, they've missed 7 free throws here late. And he calmly hits that one.
Money time.
He is now 25.
Now, if you're South Dearborn, don't foul, right? You want to make sure that you keep everything in front of you and don't foul and make sure you rebound. If you're Cascade, you just got to go quick.
Named the Piper Logistics Player of the Game. I think right now we would all be in agreement as that shot is going to be blocked. And a foul in the backcourt. I would imagine, Clark, I think you could tell us who that player of the game is, huh?
I think it's going to be Ryan Willoughby. He has 25 points. He's 10 of 14 from the free throw line. He's done everything for him. He's been active on the defensive end. In the first half, he had a lot of deflections. He's had some really good on-the-ball defense. He's taken a charge. He's hit three-pointers. He's really drove the ball hard to the paint. And when they needed a bucket, when they needed the offensive kind of stall, they know who to go to. Ryan Willoughby will be our Piper Logistics player of the game.
Willoughby missed the first, hits the second. So now you're looking at an 8-point lead. Here is Parsons, the skip pass in the corner. They'll bring it back to Parsons, and the three on the way is no good. Rebound Willoughby, and that's going to about do it. No need to foul right here, and South Dearborn will just hold the basketball and run out the remainder of this one. So South Dearborn will win it here tonight. A low-scoring affair, and South Dearborn, by the way, only 17 points in the second half, but it was enough as Cascade only scored 5 points in that last period, and the final score 45-37.
Kind of wonder if Cascade came out in the third quarter and maybe spent too much energy getting back in the game. They were down 9 at halftime, tied it at 28, tied it at 30. Just didn't have enough to finish your third game in 2 days. Maybe the legs weren't there and the execution not as sharp as they would like to be, but they played hard, hold their heads high. Coach Carpenter's got to be proud of their effort in staying with South Dearborn, but in the end it was too much Ryan Willoughby.
Cascade will fall to 5-5. They finished fourth in the tournament. South Dearborn finishing third. They improved to 8-3. The championship game is coming up in about 48 minutes. It'll be the two teams we kind of thought would be here. Covenant Christian at 8-1, Bishop Chittard at 5-1. So don't go away. That championship is right around the corner, right here on Indiana SRN.